So now let's come onto the back body. And first, before you bend up your knees, I invite you to just lay flat and assess what all is going on inside today. How our body rests on the ground where we switch gravity around can tell us a lot about what is tight, what is loose, and of course, what is chatty. Notice heels, thighs, buttocks, sacrum, shoulder blades, and the back of the head. How is it resting? Is it even from right to left and left to right? Jennifer, what's going on with you? Are you drifting to one side? Does one side maybe lay a little flatter? And are you even on the sacrum? Or are you listing to one side on the sacrum? These 5 fused vertebrae, you know, they don't fuse until we're teenagers. It's not like they pop out all together, and it is one of the thickest bone structures in our body, which makes perfect sense because it carries the whole upper body, the spine, the shoulders and arms, and of course the head. So it has to be able to take a tremendous amount of weight. It is a joint. It sits into the pelvis, the acetabulum, and it can get a little wonky. Now let's bend up the knees. And if your chin is jutty, slide a blanket under the head so that the back of your skull and your sacrum are kind of sort of same-ish. You may have noticed as you bend up the knees that your low back drifted a little closer to the ground because we took the tension of the hip flexors out of it. The psoas, because they connected to the spine, and also the quadriceps, they are often a little tight. We spend a lot of time sitting. And that's a broad statement about our culture. Now let's place the hands on the lower abdomen. And just begin to invite the breath to deepen. So as you breathe in and out, first examine, does the belly expand? And it's front to back, so there's a little sense of expansion into the sacrum and the low back as well. And if it feels like the belly is not quite expanding, like it's like you're trying to press a piston down, but there is nothing, it can't go anywhere. Take a really long, loud out breath, like a big sigh. Let's do that a couple of times. And one more time. And then we again investigate the breath, the diaphragmatic breathing, as the name suggests. Hey, Meg, this is all about getting the diaphragm moving. And when we are in sometimes called constructive rest position, it's a little bit easier to get everything else to relax. Breathing in and breathing out. Notice as the diaphragm contracts and the belly expands. Is there a quality of a gentle expansion down in the pelvic floor? And as you breathe out, does the pelvic floor mimic that of the diaphragm, moving up? Remember, the diaphragm sits like this umbrella, a dome up under the heart and lungs. And when it contracts, it flattens, pulls down like a great piston. And then as you exhale and relax the diaphragm, it swoops right back up again. And sometimes the pelvis is called the pelvic diaphragm, that it also has to move up and down. Now, when we breathe, the diaphragmatic breathing, we can layer in the Ujjayi breath, because we are going to do the Uddiyana, we're going to do the bandhas, but let's get the Ujjayi breath, that gentle restriction of the throat. Breathing out, you hear that soft hissing sound. This is a deeply calming breath. And you can do it on both the out breath and the in breath. And if at any time it feels restricted or laboriously, so hanging on to that notion of the holiday, just let it go. We don't want it to seem hard as we are working right with the nervous system. You may want to do it just on the out breath. It helps stretch the out breath out a little bit, and it helps stretch the in breath out a little bit. And now, with that simple breathing practice, Ujjayi, victorious breath, can you begin to make the pelvic floor, the Mula Bandha, as you exhale, drawing up? And then slowly release on the inhalation. Pelvic floor draws up and releases on the in-breath. Not overly. Then we're going to begin to invite the lower abdomen, Uddiyana Bandha. Same on the out breath. You can only do this one on the out breath. Mula Bandha and Jalandhara Bandha, the chin lock, we can do on in and out breath, but it's easier on the out breath. So I invite you to explore this on the out breath. Draw the pelvic floor up, draw the abdomen in and up, and feel how it helps expel the breath. This is probably one of the easiest core strengtheners you can do. We go in very deep. And if we don't tend to this aspect of our core system, all of these superficial layers are just not going to have enough teeth to be really efficient. This is the core strength that helps you to not have an accident when you sneeze or cough or laugh really hard, that we can counter this downward energy with an upward energy. Apana versus Udana, the direction of the winds in our body. We want both. Udana is upward. Apana is downward. Notice how this begins to invite to pelvic arch and flattening. So as you inhale, Allow the low back to contract. So we're just laying on a few more muscles now. And as you exhale, flattening that Uddiyana, and use the pelvic floor, drawing upward. And then releasing as you inhale. Back and forth, slow and easy. Slow and easy. Stay present with the engagement. Both the engagement and the letting go. One more time. And relax. Sliding the legs out. Pause. Breathing in and out. Now, because everything in the upper body connects to the lower, let's just spend a little time getting the latissimus dorsi friendus. Just shrug the shoulders up to the ears. And relax them down. And they're going to need a little bit of help on the sticky mat, and that's okay. Again, let's pull the shoulders up, shrug them up to the ears. And pull them all the way down. Relax. One more time. When following your breath cycle, shrug the shoulders up, upper traps, draw the shoulders down, lower and medium traps, and relax. Turn your head gently from side to side. The back muscle that starts at the sacrum goes all the way to the skull. So we are going to tend to the whole tree here to help the sacrum be a little bit, well, not a little bit, to be balanced with the skull. We know we want to carry these two on the same plane when we walk, ideally. All right, from here, with the arms out to the sides, actually, let's slide them up overhead, because we're just going to visit with Baxter here. And we know Baxter, so if it's uncomfortable to have the arms up overhead, just take them out to the side. That's just as good. So no straining in the shoulders, no straining in the shoulders. And exhale, let's hug the right knee in. And we'll take it out to the right side. So you know this one. Don't leave home without it. Give the right knee to the left hand, and we're going to twist. We come back to center. Clasp the hands behind the thigh. Press up through the heel. And then exhale. Hug the knee in. And stretch out again. So easy, right? Exhale. Hug the left knee in. Inhale, take it to the side, head is down. We'll take it across. And back for the hamstring stretch. Hug the knee in and stretch out. One more time, each side. You can follow me, hugging in on the out breath, or move at a pace that suits you better. Out to the side and across. Pressing up, hug back in and out. One more time. So this sequence does almost all of our hip movements. So when in doubt, just do a few of these. What it doesn't do is extension, but don't worry, we'll get there. Now let's take the arms out to the sides. Bend the knee up, the left knee up, sorry. I should be a little bit more specific. And place the foot on the ground. Now draw the right knee in again and then kick it out long. Pull it in. So agility, you're just going to kick the knee up. Kick the knee up. Agility has to do with speed as well, and something that we kind of lose. And let's do one more time. And we'll place the foot down, slide the leg out. And just notice right hip and left hip. These are big muscles, so the head just stays down. So these are really good to do when you're walking too. These knee pulls. We're going to do it on the other side. Bend up the right leg. And again, kicking the leg in. Do we have this mobility in our hip flexors? Psoas, quadriceps, and then there was that little dude, the tensor fasciae latae. Adding momentum. And we're going to let that go. Take the legs out again. Shake the legs out. Remember the four concepts: flexibility, strength, endurance, and balance. So these are all part of this little doodad. We're now going to work with Baxter again, but no hands. So leave your arms out to the sides. And as you exhale, we're going to draw the right knee in again. We're going to take it out to the side. We're going to take it across and twist. We come back to center, take the leg to the sky, pressing up. Now ground your left leg and then slowly lower the right leg down. Slowly lower it all the way down. Keep the low back moving towards the floor. So we're sneaking in a little bit more core work. Hug the left knee in, take it out to the side, taking it across for the twist. Back to center. Let's take the leg up. And then draw the abdomen in and up. Keep the spine neutral as you slowly lower the leg down. Getting it as long as you can. Let's take a breath in and out. And we're going to repeat this. So it's a very different muscular event when we leave the hands out of it. And that gives us a true look at our mobility. What do we have access to without helpers? Lengthening it down, let it come down as slow as you can. And move to the other side again. So just follow an easy rhythm. How does this feel? The slower you lower down, the longer you're putting weight on the psoas, and the more bang you get for your buck. That's where we want the control. Let's do it one more time on each side. Drawing in, to the side, across, back to center, reaching up. Keep the sacrum where it is. So use your sacrum as your, can you call it a bookmark, body mark? As you lower the heel of the leg down. Because then we know that we're not moving the pelvis. That is all a strengthening event. Boom. And once you have completed the left side, you're going to grab your strap. And you're going to make a loop. And you're going to take the strap around the thighs, mid-thigh. And the loop is not a tourniquet. So you want the strap to hold your legs at hip width apart. So feet are down. We're preparing for bridge pose. And what we're going to use the strap for today is the outer hip stability and sacral stability. A lot of sacral imbalance translates to low back pain, but it's actually the sacrum that's all sort of gone wonky whack. And so we need to make sure that we have this joint exactly where we want it. Take the hands down alongside the hips. And then the feet, are they hip width apart? And about under the heels, about under the knee. So this is bridge, we know bridge. So let's do a couple of trowel runs. You'll inhale up and exhale down. Inhaling up and exhale down. So that's our hip extension here. Let's come up again, inhaling up. Now we're going to stay up. Let's keep your arms where they are because we're going to not be overly concerned about the shoulders. But here, now press your legs out into the strap. So often we do a block of pressing in, but we need stability on the outer hip too. So notice what happens as you press into the strap, pressing into the strap. We are now talking gluteus medius. And that little band, well, it's not so little, but it's not as big as the maximus, it can get really lazy. And that really puts a tremendous amount of strain on other hip muscles. Now keep pressing your arms down, shoulders down, and pressing into the strap. Get a good sense of what is this action. And then slowly, 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 let's lower all the way down. Take a breath in and out as you come down. We're going to take the strap off, but you're going to pretend that you're still wearing a strap. So you're going to be an invisible strap. The sacrum and the pelvis, they are like little itty bitty puzzle pieces. And they have to slide right into these nooks. And if they get pulled out a little bit and for goals, because of childbearing, this can get really unstable. Let's inhale up again. Now pretend you have a strap around your knees and you're going to press out into the strap. Of course, there's no strap, so you have to maintain the alignment. Great. Pressing out into the imaginary strap. I'm going to add one more cue here. Now imagine a block between your legs. So you're both pressing out and hugging in. Pressing out and hugging in. I know that's enough to get the brain to go, what? So now we're creating all around stability. Pressing out, yet hugging in. Maintain both actions in the pose. And slowly lower down. And take your blanket and slide it. So I have it folded over just once. So this is sort of the easy fold. And I have it right under my sacrum. So my sacrum is supported. My low back is supported. I'm going to take the knees in for happy baby pose. Just drawing the knees in. So a block would be really uncomfortable here. Letting the legs just flop open and either hook your hands behind the knee or take the feet up and catch the ankle, catch the outer edges of the feet, and rock. Side to side. Deep hip flexion. Deep hip flexion. Of course, Balasana, garland pose, the squat. That's what we're doing right now. Easy peasy. And we need that in our next pose. Let's take the right foot across the left ankle. Right foot across the left ankle. We know this figure 4 pose, right? Right foot. Did I say left ankle? I meant left knee. Thank you. I'm so glad I can see you. I saw the questions marks across the screen. And remember, flex your right ankle, flexing the right ankle. Inviting the knee in. So you're rounding the spine as you draw the knee in, but as you arch, we invite a little bit more hip mobility around the right hip. Just going back and forth. So you can absolutely do this without a blanket. If the blanket is uncomfortable for your back, remove it. This is not a torture event. Now here, let's take the left hand to the right foot and the right hand to the right knee. We're going to release the left foot to the floor and slide it out long, sliding it out long, reaching out through. Now this is, of course, Supta Ekapada Rasha Kapotasana. Reclined, one-legged king pigeon pose. Breathing in and breathing out. And that pose demands a lot out of knees and hips. And so I always like to teach it this way first. And let's take the left leg back up, catch the right ankle, and we're going to land the whole thing back down. Left foot to the floor, it delivers the right down. And place the right foot on the mat. We'll go to the other side. We'll draw the right knee in and clasp the hands behind the thigh. And here again, we'll do a couple of arcs and flatten. Inhale, arch. Exhale, invite the knee in. Just going back and forth. I said, well, that's going really well. Left ankle is flexed. You guys are doing awesome. Let's transfer. Right hand, left foot. Left hand, left knee. And I can now place the foot down. Well, that's going really well. And I can take my right leg out long. So with the blanket, it puts me into a little bit of a hip extension. It's asking a lot out of the psoas. Breathing in and breathing out. And let's take the right knee up, catch the left, and place the whole bit back down. Boom. Now here, keep your leg, your hips, your sacrum on the blanket. And we're going to lift up into bridge pose again. When you're ready, lifting up. And again, put on your invisible strap, squeeze the invisible block. And then we're going to take the blanket out of the way. And here, if you want to roll the shoulders under and interlace the hands. But let the star of the show be your hips. Squeezing the buns. And squeezing in, they're squeezing out, they're squeezing in every which direction. And we'll do one more breath. And slowly releasing hands and lowering down. Let's straighten the legs out. We'll take the right arm up overhead and roll onto the right side. Stacking the legs. So the arm, it can be bent. It doesn't have to be overhead. You support the head with a blanket. So if this is uncomfortable, there's this. If this is uncomfortable, take the arm where it needs to be, but support the head so it's not falling down. Back of the skull, sacrum and heels, all lining up, one long line. So that takes a little bit of core event. I know, front and back. And you'll take your top arm, and it's going to take it off the hip. So I'm just going to lift it here. And I'm going to lift my top leg. The left leg lifts up and lowers down. Lift the leg. Oh, that's the whole outer hip. Can you feel it? That's that gluteus medius again, lowering down. I see a woman when I'm out walking every morning, and I think she may have Trendelenburg syndrome, because she got a big swagger. There's serious lack of hip mobility. I'm not gonna ask her because that would be a little, invasive. But when we lose control of gluteus medius, it's not good. Now lift the leg, let's hold it. Hold it. And breathe. Yeah. And let's take the leg down. And we'll place the left leg in front of the right. Turn the toes so they're pointing down towards the right foot. Turn the toes on your left leg towards the right foot. So your knee and your second toe are pointing in the same direction. And we'll take the left arm up overhead or where it is comfortable. I'm still up on my side. So be careful here. As you inhale, pressing into your left foot, lift the right hip up. I'll fall in tree pose. And we'll lower down. Take the arm down. We go long. We take the arms overhead or where they're comfortable. And then as slowly as you can, let's roll onto our back. As slowly as you can. And then roll over onto your left side. And I'm going to spin about here so I can see it. And if you're not sure if you're laying in a straight line, this is a great one to do up against a wall, or you can measure, you can look down the mat and see that everything is sort of equidistant away from the edge of the mat. And take the right arm down alongside. So your right side is in mountain pose, your left side is in tall mountain. And I'll lift my right arm a little bit so it's out of the way, and lift and lower. So all your core muscles are now negotiating your hip movement, front and back. Notice or pay attention to your pelvis not rocking with the leg. So this is pure abduction, abduction. So the pelvis is staying right up on your left hip. And let's hold the leg up. And breathe. It's a great place to do Ujjayi. Breathing. Easy peasy, right? And lower and down. And place the right foot in front of the left. Maybe take the right arm overhead. Now we are in tall mountain and tree pose. As you exhale, lift. Pressing the right foot down. Does this side lift as easy or not as easy? Breathing and lowering down. This one is challenging, I know. Go long again. Tall mountain. And we're going to roll all the way over onto the belly. As you come onto your abdomen, rest your head on your forearms. Let your feet just rest out to the side. So this is crocodile pose, they say. I've yet to spot a crocodile in this pose, but I'll go for it. So just have your head and your arms in any way that is comfortable for your body. As you breathe in and out. Breathing in and out. Feel the breath in your low back and your sacrum. And then taking the legs together, forehead on the back of the hands. And then inhale, ekapada, right leg lifts up and lower down. Left leg lifts up and lower down. Right leg again, now lift the head, look over the right shoulder and lower down. Moving at a pace that's comfortable for you, left leg, look over the left shoulder. Easy and steady pace. So we're working again, erector spinae, literally upright spine muscle, connecting from skull to sacrum. Do it one more time on each side. And then we'll slide the hands down alongside the chest. So preparing for cobra pose. So with the hands right by the side chest. I know, Sally, that was not the best cue I gave there. Forehead resting on the mat. Let's roll the shoulders up and down the back. As you inhale, lift the head, heart, hands, and legs. So this is our flying cobra pose, flying cobra. Lifting. The whole back seam is working. We'll take the hands down, the legs down. Now we'll lift up a little higher. Little bit higher. And let's draw back to puppy pose. We'll inhale, let's come up to our tall cobra. Lift the heart and exhale back, puppy. Inhaling up, tall cobra. So this begins to give us a really big hip extension. So squeeze the glutes that protects the low back so we're not overarching in the back bend. And next time you go back, if it feels all right for you, this is our dog. And take the dog for a little bit of a wiggle waggle. Whatever that means today. Wiggle waggle. And then let your dog become still. Maybe lift up on the tiptoes to get the hips really high. Then pull the heels back. Draw the heels back, not down, but back to maintain length in the spine. And then from downward facing dog, looking up, and let's step the left foot up between the hands. We're in the high lunge. And take the right knee down. Rest the top of the foot on the mat, the right foot that would be, and then take your hands up to the left knee. So we know this, we see a big hip extension here. Well, let's take it back to propose a lunge. So if this feels fully unstable, walk your foot back a little bit further. Oh, did I say unstable? So I'm bringing my right hip over my right knee. Right hip over the right knee. Let's inhale, take the arms out and up. Keep drawing the tailbone down, tailbone down. Clasp the right wrist or elbow and side bend to the left. Side bending to the left. Keep drawing the tailbone down. Tailbone down. And we come back to center. Take the hands down. And then support yourself as you spin. So you're facing the long side of the mat. So this is gate pose. Somewhat cowboy pose. So now my right leg, my right knee is under my right hip. I still have the same opening that I had in the proposal, but now I'm taking it to the side. Take my left hand to the inner left knee. Left hand to the inner left knee. I'll take the right arm overhead again. And I'm going to side bend out over the left leg. Now here, one more breath. We'll inhale all the way up. And then wiggle your left leg out so the knee is straight. Knee is now straight. And we'll take the left hand to the thigh. Right arm goes up again. Press your left leg up into your hand so you're not hyperextending the knee. And then slide your left hand down. Slide the left hand all the way down. And all the way is in the loosest way possible. Keep pressing the shin up into the hand. So the leg is countering. And inhaling all the way up. We're going to wiggle the left foot in so we can spin around and travel that one back to downward facing dog. Now we'll inhale forward to plank pose. Take the knees down. Release the tops of the feet. And we lift the heart again. Lift the heart. And maybe the knees for upward facing dog. Lift the heart. And let's go back to downward facing dog. We'll look up. This time we'll take the right foot up. Between the hands. We help it along as it needs to be helped. Keeping the back leg super strong. Squeeze muscle around bone. And let's take the knee down. And we shift it back again into proposal lunge. Hips over knee and support it with a blanket if the floor is a good choice, Sally. So if the floor is really unforgiving. And now here, lower abdomen in and up, tailbone down. We'll take the arms out and up, catching wrist or elbow. And we'll side bend to the right, to the right. So here the whole lateral seam, which also shortens with us. Have you noticed? We'll say, wow, I don't know why my waist is getting bigger. I'm not gaining weight. It's because we're collapsing. So we want to open up between the ribs and the hips. Reestablish our rightful height. Let's come back to center. Take the arms down and then kick your left leg back. And I'm going to be spinning about, so I am not showing you my other side. So we'll start with the side. I feel like I'm advertising for rum or something here, Captain Morgan. Take the arm to the inner, so I'm maintaining my alignment, knee over ankle. That's where things can get a little tricky. Take the arm out and up again. And side bend, keep pressing the hand into it. You can slide the arm down. So the forearm against the knee maintains our sternum, going forward rather than spinning down. And inhale and coming all the way up. We're going to wiggle the foot out. Hands to the thigh. And again, be mindful that you're not collapsing the leg, that the pelvis is still neutral. The leg is very active. We'll take the left arm up again, leg pressing up into the right hand, right leg up into the right hand. And the journey again. So this is like a baby triangle pose. One of my teachers, one of yours by extension, Tia's Little, loves this pose. I've never been to a class where this pose doesn't get diced in 1,000 different ways, it feels. So it's interesting because it's never been my favorite, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't share it, right? And it means that I got more to learn about this little thing. I'm studying it. Are you studying it? You like it? No, I know. Inhaling up. And we're going to spin. We're going to take the leg in so we can spin our way down so we can step back to downward facing dog again. Back to downward facing dog again. Inhaling forward to plank pose. Press the floor away. The arms are really strong here. You are in a horizontal mountain pose. So reaching back through the heels. And as best as you can tell, the back of the head and the sacrum is on the same plane. I'm going to do a teeny little push-up, which is just the elbows bending and then pressing up. I know what you're thinking. If you do one, you could do two. You can always take the knees down, remember? Bend and straighten. And we're back to downward facing dog. We're going to come forward to plank one more time. Take the knees down. Release the tops of the feet. And then do the reverse cobra. We're going to release the thighs, belly, chest, and forehead. We're doing awesome. Now take your right hand up on the mat. So just let your forehead rest on it. You'll bend your left leg and catch your left foot with your left hand. Catch the left foot with the left hand. Or a strap works too. Now here, let's roll the shoulders up and down the back. So the left shoulder blade is on the spine, down and in. Inhale, lift the head. Lift the head. So that's easy peasy. Lift your right leg and maybe the left. Breathing in, breathing out. Half bow pose and lowering down. Release the right leg or left, whichever one you're holding. Sorry, I got backwards there. I know, really, and I saw that facial expression. Let's do the other side. Bend the foot, reach back, catch. And we'll start easy. Let's start so now with the arm, maybe up, maybe down. We're just going to start just lifting the head. And if you have your arm up, you can use the forearm to press down to support that. And then here, I'm going to lift my straight leg and then the bend. Maybe get a little bit more lift. And lowering down. Release the leg. Swing the hips from side to side. And we'll bend up both legs. Catch, or do cobra or sphinx with knees bent. Draw the knees together. Roll the shoulders up and down the back. And then inhale, lift the head, the heart, kick the feet back to lift. And keep the knees together, keep the knees together. So here again, use your imaginary strap around the thigh with the imaginary block between the thighs. So we just flip the pose around. And if the thighs are glued to the floor, those hip flexors, dag nabbit. And slowly lower down. And swing the hips from side to side. We'll take the hands under the shoulders. And we're going to push back. We're going to travel through wide knee child's pose or come onto our back for happy baby pose. Because each will lengthen out the low back. Breathing in and breathing out. And let's all come onto our back body. If you're already there, awesome. If you're in the other, you will switch. And we got just one more pose before we land at Shavasana. Well, technically 1.5. We'll take the feet down. We'll take the block between the thighs. Arms out to the sides. Jathara Parivartasana. So in this pose, keep your shoulders anchored well, but now turn just your forearms and place the palms face down. So the shoulders are still rolling upward, if you will, towards the head, but you're turning just the forearms down. This will help anchor the shoulders. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, we're going to take the knees to the right. Pause on the in-breath. Exhale back to center. Breathing in, exhale, left. Breathing out, back to center. Moving at a pace that's comfortable for you. And I really like to using Ujjayi breath here. When you come to center, you can take your legs straight up. Then exhale, bend and travel. You can play with the breath in this pose. You can exhale down, inhale right up. You can inhale down, exhale up. Each is going to feel slightly different. Next time you come up to center, we're going to remove the block. And we're going to do a full body stretch. Which will land us in Shavasana. Separating the legs a little bit, take the arms down to a place where it's comfortable. I like a foot, maybe a foot and a half out. So I'm sort of midways between close to the body and straight out from the shoulder. Palms facing up. So the key is to have a sense of lift of the armpit chest so that my gills are not compressed, my side chest. Now scanning your body, have a look-see about, is there any tension? Can you use the breath to let go a little bit more? Now the in-breath invites for expansion, and the out-breath invites for release. And using Ujjayi on just the out-breath can facilitate a little bit deeper letting go. Breathing in and breathing out. The mind is very lightly following the in-breath and the out-breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, I'm at ease. Breathing out, I release. Ease, release. ease, release. And now gently begin to deepen your breath. Invite gentle movement into your body. Bending up your knees. Place the feet on the mat. Gently rock the knees from side to side. Rolling all the way over onto one side. Pause. And then use your arms and hands to press up into a comfortable seated posture. Anjali Mudra, the heart gesture. Closing with Om Shanti 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 Om. Sending peace out into the far corners of the world, to our loved ones and community, and to ourselves. Let's take a deep breath in. Om Shanti 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 Om. Exhale and bow your head towards your heart. Bowing to yourself. And to the divine light that brought you here. We'll draw the gaze back up. Thank you. Namaste.